Hello everyone. Well, I've been spending quite a bit of my time doing some programming recently, as well as there are some various other things going on at the moment, which I can't really discuss right now, but we may well at some point. But anyway, I thought I'd do a nice simple video about this request I received via Twitter. So, hi Quidsup, what is your opinion about the Vektor home security device? It was presented at CES this year, and if you want my TLDR response, after a quick look at the site, I would say it's nothing more than a glorified DNS server. So, a home security device, home security to prevent all these hackers getting in via poorly secured IoT, Internet of Internet of Things devices, to try and protect those devices, cameras, light bulbs, coffee machines and smart fridges and everything else that people seem to be putting into their homes. And what do we say about it, Internet of Shit? I had to walk home because my smart bike wouldn't unlock. Do you think this future is really worth it with all these awful devices? Anyway, so this is the website, Vektor by QBranch Labs, and a picture of it next to a set of car keys, or they're a set of rendered car keys, or a window key, or a bike lock. Oh no, we don't have bike locks, do we? Protect your privacy from hackers, real-time AI-powered defense, cybersecure in less than a minute. AI, oh yeah, we've got to have some artificial intelligence. What happens when artificial intelligence learns the wrong thing, though? Yeah, anyway, we should come on to that point. So this is all the claims about the product. So commercial threat intelligence and same security tools that large internet companies use to protect their networks. A 24/7 AI-powered smart defense that you don't need to think about or configure. Oh yes, don't configure. Perfect. Home users. So they're offering a VPN service, presumably not through the same device. Advanced access control, quickly see all connected and previously connected network devices in your home and control access with a tap of a button. Restrict your children's devices to safe sites and set time limits or daily schedules to control internet screen time. And they're going to do blocking of adverts and trackers. So all the devices in your home, as well as various statistics, and quotes that aren't necessarily discussing the product in question. How it works. By analysing network traffic, Vektor can detect malware infections much earlier than traditional antivirus programs. It takes advantage of the fact that malware invaders need to communicate with their command and control computers, creating network traffic. It builds a model of your device's normal network traffic, so it can detect abnormalities that may signal a developing attack. While many aspects of an attack can be hidden, malware must communicate back to those who sent it. True. When Vektor sees a lot of DNS requests pointing to hotspots of abuse, it blocks that traffic and warns you of potential infections. So, I'll get to some points about this in a moment. We'll take a look at the picture of the device. So it has a network port, a USB port, a power supply. Oh, it mentions about Wi-Fi there as well. But no other ports. Certainly no further network ports. So, what kind of device is this? It is a DNS server and a DHCP server. DHCP will allocate an IP address to a system on your home network and tell it where the DNS server is, and that presumably is the DNS server itself as well. So it is just a DNS server, it is nothing else. And we can tell that by the simple lack of other network ports on the device. It is not a firewall because a firewall will have to have an input and an output. And maybe a management port as well. It has none of those. So that confirms what it is, and they also mention about DNS requests here as well. So can it stop malware communicating that goes direct via an IP address? No, it cannot. Logging and blocking DNS requests literally does that. If you go to an IP address directly, won't do anything. Quite a lot of the malware scanning I do see over the internet does have like an IP address that the malware should call back to should the device become infected. You see, it's a lot harder to shut down an IP address compared to a website address. That's not to say it won't stop anything. Yes, it will. It just won't stop everything. There's also some information about the device on the company's website. Not really a whole lot more. We can see like ad blocking, network control, AI-powered defense, unbreakable encryption. So it uses a VPN, and presumably that's just a VPN service they're offering. It's not via the device because you can't route traffic out of a device that has only one network port. It's more like they're just offering the service. I don't think it's doing anything via that device. But I don't think there's anything much more. Oh, Love that, eh? More than 60,000 baby monitors can be used for remote surveillance. Yeah, get parents all worried. And presumably the DNS server they're using has the ability to set controls for the various devices that they are connecting to it. Although you can circumvent that by setting a DNS server on your own computer. Like, kids won't ever work that out. And I did mention a bit about the team. So Jim McCoy has been doing internet security and privacy for more than 2 decades. Fairly impressive. But he spent the past 5 years at Facebook. Ooh dear, now that's got to lower your credentials somewhat, hasn't it? Concerned about privacy and tracking and working at Facebook? Okay. He led the security tools team in building and maintaining the systems that protected Facebook from threats ranging from teenage hackers in their parents' basements to professional nation-state hacking teams. Well, at least he's admitting that not all hackers are nation-state, unlike some news articles. Okay, so I haven't been in the security industry for quite so long, but 8 years is still a pretty good time to be commenting on these things. But I would have to say it's really been the last couple of years where evolution has really accelerated in the tools that hackers are using versus the tools that the defenders are having to use. The way that security tools have had to adapt is quite interesting. They have had to do more with, I hate using the term artificial intelligence, but really more intelligence of behavioural analysis, I would say. But then again, I'm looking more at the corporate environment, and that can include quite small companies and huge international companies. I noticed I had a developer job advertised for a role doing Python programming. Their Facebook page mentions various different news articles about malware or vulnerabilities that have been discovered recently. It just links to various different news sites. No mention about whether their device can actually protect against any of these particular attacks, but probably just trying to get people thinking about home security. But if you wanted to do something to protect your home network, you could just simply change the DNS server your computer uses. You could use something like OpenDNS. I'm not getting paid to advertise this, but we happen to use it at work, and I have used it before, and I quite liked it. And I know that they're pretty good at blocking phishing sites because I've submitted quite a long list to them, and they've actually blocked them relatively quickly. But then again, I'm looking at phishing sites which are targeted to our company specifically, or my particular industry that I work in. So not necessarily something the home user will encounter, but they do block phishing sites and they do block malware sites. When known. And that's key about this. It is when known, when discovered, when submitted, or when identified by their own scanning of the internet. Or scanning of the traffic that hits various IP addresses and websites, because they do look at that. I can't necessarily show you some of this information because it's behind a corporate login for me, so yeah, I can't discuss more details, which is a shame really, because I probably would like to. It's free for a home user, or you can pay a small amount to get various controls and the filtering. Or there is the system I've been working on for some time, NoTrack. There's also Pi-hole as well, which you could put on the Raspberry Pi and get most of what they're offering. It's a DHCP server and a DNS server that can do various blocking. It can log all the internet traffic on your network. Sure, it doesn't have that fancy AI ability, but does most of what they're advertising for the cost of a Raspberry Pi, which is not very much. So anyway, for the basic home user, like implementing on your parents' network, let's say, it will go some way towards protecting it. Not 100% protection, but simplicity. I would, however, be interested to see what the cost is, because that may well change my mind. Yeah, that was a little bit of a discussion about Vektor. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all later.